All right, folks, I'm here for my chart session. It is 7:20 a.m. Um, Wednesday, September 11th. I don't normally check the charts at this time, and that's why I'm trading only limit orders. So, what I'm doing today, I have the day off of work. I'm about to go solo climb a mountain, and I wanted to get on before doing it. So I'm gonna take a quick session, manage and monitor, see what's going on. And I have three main trading rules. The first trading rule is never risk more than a percentage of the account. In other words, never risk the whole account. And the second rule is to never always use a stop loss. And the third rule is to only use limit orders. So I'm only using limit orders. It solves the scheduling problems where I'm asleep during New York, which happened right here. I got perfect fill during New York Open. And it also saves me from um, or makes it harder for me to chase and harder for me to revenge trade. It makes everything more analytical. I did take a loss here, which is a little bit of a revenge trade, or not a revenge trade, but was a little bit of chasing. But this is done. I got stopped out here, and I got an awesome fill right here at 55,900 with my stop down here, and that has more than made up from this. And I was able to compound this initial position and get in a bigger position as we head towards a higher target. I did try this ape short, and I didn't get filled. I was excited for a minute, but I didn't get filled on this. And sometimes that is the problem of limit orders, but it's okay. I think the trade-offs more than make up for it. Oops, I almost closed it by mistake. I'm going to cancel my ape short. So we're out of ape. So there's a couple things that I want to look at. I want to look at CPI news for one. Um, okay, cooling inflation, so that's positive. We'll see how the stock market's reacted. Um, okay, we have had a sharp move down coming into it after the report, and then a nice recovery. Kind of choppy. Okay, now before we get too much into the Bitcoin charts, we need to look at my advanced metrics here, which we're going to look at for both Bitcoin and ETH. I haven't looked at the Bitcoin ETH chart yet. I only took along on Bitcoin. So also just out of curiosity, I want to look at helium because this is something that I had, yeah, tried to short and then realized it was probably a bad idea. I'm also curious on QNT because I thought maybe that one could be an okay short, which it has been, but I wouldn't have gotten filled, honestly. Would have put my entry right here. Also BSV is maybe shortable. Aave looks shortable. Okay, I'm interested in, and that'll allow me to hedge a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna look at the aggregate funding rate, the aggregate predicted funding rate, and then I want to look at CVD, aggregate for futures and spot. So what are we saying? Funding is actually appears to be coming down on this move up. Funding rate went green, but hasn't gone very green. Um, so it looks okay. I wanna go back to from the bottom though, from this bottom down here. What are we seeing? Especially today, we're seeing spot buying. So that looks okay to me. We'll look at another measure of funding rate, which will give a snapshot of the market itself. It says negative over here, which is good. So I like trying for continuation towards 60,000. Definitely into that idea. And we see a lot of negative funding across the space. I'll look at the very bottom down here. And I'm also interested in ETH. See, open interest hasn't, yeah, it's been increasing off the bottom a little bit, but not significantly. Um, okay, ETH looks a lot weaker as always, which is one of the reasons I'm trying to avoid trading it. Okay, let's look. And then from a funding, yeah, I don't want to touch it. Its funding is kind of getting hot on ETH, honestly. Spot has just continued to sell. So I'm okay later looking for shorts on ETH, but for now, not touching it. Let's go down to the bottom here and look, and then we'll actually get into the charts. What I want to see is funding going negative with price rising, which is what we're seeing. So we can expect to squeeze higher. Now, let's start with the Bitcoin chart. I kind of like the idea of leaving it alone for now. So I could possibly break even it. This little area down here is still interesting for long, but I don't really want to see price go down there. I'd rather maybe not trade it. I feel like if price comes down here, it's more than likely, well, price could come down there on Bitcoin and on ETH, maybe take this. But let's go ahead and take a look at ETH here. Where did it bounce from? Filled this gap, took the low. We still have this and this little 4-hour gap down here. Um, we're creating a gap here. I still like this target for now. I think I'm just gonna leave everything alone. I will maybe advance the stop. Yeah, if we get there, I'll be almost out of drawdown in August actually. Be a nice recovery. Um, it's pretty bullish actually. It's three straight gaps, and it's also not like an air gap here. So yeah, I'm not in a place that I want to be a buyer here. We see, it's just streaking higher, but I guess it'd be interesting. Maybe trying to get in a pullback. I don't really like doing that right now though, because I want to see some kind of a consolidation first and can just be happy with the position that I do have and allow it to run higher. Um, yeah, that was sort of a chase, guess, but that looks really good. I mean, my entry was spot on here. Didn't get much of a bounce over here. Took this, went in here. Okay, looks good. I can think about advancing my stop just to take risk out. I kind of like that. And then I might be interested in trying a small add-on here, which I don't expect to get, but first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to advance my stop on Bitcoin to 55,400, 55,500, which takes off most of the risk. And I don't know that we'll even get any kind of a sharp pullback, but 57,000, $2,000, half. RR needs to make sense too. Should be at least 2. The whole thing could reverse it, just see it though. 7, 8. Could also maybe put my stop right here. With that, this would just be a small ad. And then we're aiming up here, 60,000 ETH. Okay, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna put my stop at actually 55,800, which break even's my initial for the most part. And then from 57 to 55.8, just gonna add like a small piece here. Limit at 57,136. .25 is going to be, and then 55,800, and target 60,000, 57,136, okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna look at the possibility of a short on Aave. I want to see what Aave looks like though, in terms of funding rate. I don't know. It went pretty negative up there. It has normalized though. That looks so much like a top. So I think what I'm going to try to do, and there's also a really nice area to try in. Target here. And target down there. Kind of like that. Again, ape would have worked. Quant is also maybe now tradable. Maybe. BSV, I'm gonna leave BSV alone. Yeah, it's going negative. So we'll leave that one alone. Quant. Which has gone negative. No, we won't do it. See what the other ones look like. There's some that are near the highs, but not there yet. See, the whole breakout's being held. It's for sure not the environment for it, but it's kind of a hedge, and it would have worked on Ape if I had been filled. Yeah. Quant looks okay. Yeah, big Bitcoin dominance day as always. Yeah, limit order only is working incredibly well. Okay, we're almost done. Too interesting. Hang on, there's one down here that hit GMT. Yeah, I mean, there's a held breakout, right? This one is getting more interesting, but I want to wait for gaps to develop. Okay, so this is a Bitcoin dominance run, is what we're saying. So that could easily reverse. If I wanted to be more conservative, I could put my target right up here. Also, I could, if I wanted to be more conservative, let's be more conservative. Let me put my stop here. And let's put my entry here. Less chasing. So here, this our price would be 56,560. Okay, and my stop loss is going to be 50,000, 55,500. The current position I'm in. Should stick with that idea. Yeah, I don't really care if it runs without me, right? 500. What's my loss on the add-on? Okay, I'll live with that. I just don't, doesn't seem like it's gonna would fill. Let's go back to this idea, but I'm gonna keep my stop wide. 57, 213. It's a little bit of chasing. It's not too bad. Okay. Let's do that. Aiming for 60. I feel like it could go way higher, but it's a good place to start and evaluate from there. So Aave, so I know where I want to limit from. This area right here. And now I want my stop up there. I feel like that's a reasonable TP too. TP, that is. So let's go look at Aave. Which might not fill, it's okay though. So 9, my stop's gonna be about 9 away. So say I only want to risk like 400. Be about 40, 50 Aave. It's negative on MEXC, but Ape was negative on MEXC too, and it looks like it's just gone positive here. It's CBD and open interest. S- Yeah, spot selling here, futures buying. I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna put it at 151. Is there any way I can put it higher? Like the top of this gap? Put it like right here maybe. 151.9. Stop loss will be 160. And I'll trade about 50 of them. Hey, the TP is going to be 136. So this would make it about a 2R. Ape would be interesting here, huh? Abe looks good for some kind of a move down. And with that, I'm going to log off. I wouldn't say necessarily the rest of the day, but I'm going to go climb this mountain. All right, much love, folks. Happy trading. Peace.